How's it going, guys? It's the Almighty Lion. Like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy the channel. Let me know if you like my content down below. Best comment gets a reply. What's going on, guys? It's a Sunday. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I woke up super early. Well, I haven't gone to bed, but I'm grateful for that. So I actually was reading the Bible. By reading, I actually randomly opened up the Bible to some bookmarks that I had, and I have quite a few, and I actually found one that I was interested in, but I didn't read it right away because I only read the certain passages that I randomly picked out. But it's called Ecclestias. I know there's a right way of saying it, and I'm obviously not saying it. The book is basically about like half and half. Like, life is pretty crappy, but life isn't that crappy. I really like this this book, Ecclesiastes. It's really nice. It basically tells you that even back in those times, no matter how rich or how poor you were, no matter how righteous or how evil you are, this life is pretty senseless. It's a pretty senseless life. It's, as I quote this great king saying, this wise man who says, everything makes no sense. It's as you're chasing the wind. That's it. Chasing the wind. That's how senseless life is, chasing after the wind. Now, there are some things in here, however, that I did like. And even though they're, from passage 1 all the way to passage 12 over here, there's a lot of great material, and I like a lot of the stuff that it has here because it resonates with me. Because I guess I didn't realize it that the book of Ecclesiastes is a book for the search of meaning in life, and I never realized that until I was just I just randomly opened it up and said, oh yeah, you know what, I'll just randomly pick a passage. But this book, Ecclesiastes, is for the mysteries of life, the meaning of life. It's not gonna tell you what the meaning of life, because they don't know themselves, but the fact that everything is mixed in there, the way that this world works, the way that we have to make a life, and we have to make this and we have to do that in order to be in God's good grace. Like, you don't want, from reading all these passages, you don't want to disobey God. You don't want to not do the right things in the right way. What I really enjoyed reading the passages from the book of Ecclesiastes, I enjoyed the fact that the person who was narrating, the person who wrote this, they're not someone special, but they are special. Like, they wrote this and I felt like I wrote it. I literally felt like I'm looking into a mirror of my own reflection that says, this is what you wrote. Today's Sunday, and I really wanted to give myself a deeper meaning. But I wanted to also give you guys a deeper meaning. What is the meaning of life? But not what is the meaning of life. What is the meaning of your life? We have rules. We have to obey God. We have to do all this. We have to do all that. We have to pay our bills. We got to get a job. We got to pay our kids to go to school. We have to keep pushing ourselves. And I think that's what's kind of tripped out. We are in a world where it's a system. It's something that has been in place before you and I ever existed. And that's what I love about this book so far. From reading it all, that's what I liked about it. It really opened my eyes up to what life was like then and how life is like now, and how it is not so different. And the way that these passages were said were just amazing. I never realized how much so much it resonated with me, or how I felt it. The one passage that I picked out, I actually picked quite a few, but the one passage that I picked out was, obey the king. If you promised God that you would be loyal to the king, I advise you to keep that promise. Don't quickly oppose the king or argue when he has already made up his mind. The king's word is law. No one can ask him, why are you doing this? If you obey the king, you will stay out of trouble. So be smart and learn what to do and when to do it. Life is hard, but but there is a time and a place for everything. Though no one can tell you the future, we cannot control the wind or determine the day of our death. There is no escape in time of war, and no one can hide behind evil. I noticed all this and thought seriously about what goes on in the world. Why does one person have the power to hurt another? Reading that gave me some sense of balance. We are in a world where the powerful hold us and keep us in a position that benefits them. But they call it a system, and they call it the middle class. They call it something that keeps us from saying, or that keeps us in this position. And it's scary because it feels like oppression, but oppression with a false sense of illusions that say you are free or you can do whatever you want in this world, but in reality you have to pay taxes, you have to do these things, or you're a fool. Another passage that I really enjoyed was the one right after it. Who can understand the ways of God? I saw the wicked buried with honor, but God's people had to leave the holy city and were forgotten. None of this makes sense. When we see criminals commit crime after crime without being punished, it makes us want to start a life of crime. They commit hundreds of crimes and live to a ripe old age, and in spite of the saying, everyone who lives right and respects God will prosper, but no one who sins and rejects God will prosper or live very long. There is something else that doesn't make sense to me. Good citizens are treated as criminals, while criminals are honored as though they were good citizens. So I think we should get as much out of life as we possibly can. There is nothing better than to enjoy our food and drink and to have a good time. Then we can make it work through this troublesome life that God has given us here on earth. Day and night I went through sleep, trying to understand what goes in this world. I saw everything God does, and I realized that no one can really understand what happens. We may be very wise, but no matter how much we try or how much we claim to know, we cannot understand it all. And that's true. No matter how wise we are, no matter how educated we are, no matter what we know, what we think we know, it's too much for any of us, because it's just too much for us. It's a big world. There's so many of us in it, and there's a lot of us trying to control us. And with today's social media and crazy stuff and conspiracy theories, it's just another one to put on the board. One other one that I did read, you have to be smart. You have to be wise. You have to be wise enough to know that you don't have to have people call you smart if you know you're smart. They know you're smart. So one thing that I did like about this Ecclestias was a passage that I read right here. Don't depend on wealth. There is something else terribly unfair, and it troubles everyone on earth. God may give you everything you want, money, property, and wealth. Then God doesn't let you enjoy it, and someone you don't even know gets it all. That's senseless and terribly unfair. You may live a long time and have 100 children, but a child born dead is better off than you, unless you enjoy life and have a decent burial. That child will never live to see the sun or to have a name, and it will go straight to the world of darkness. But it will still find more rest than you, even if you live 2,000 years and don't enjoy life. As you know, we all end up in the same place. We struggle just to have enough to eat, but we are never satisfied. We may be sensible, yet we are not better. We are not better off than a fool. We may be sensible, yet we are no better off than a fool. And if we are poor, it still does us no good to try to live right. It's better to enjoy what we have than to always want something else, because that makes no more sense than chasing the wind. Everything that happens was decided long ago. We humans know what we are like, and we can't argue with God because He is too strong for us. The more we talk, the less sense we make. So, what good does it do to talk? Life is short and meaningless, and it fades away like a shadow. Who knows what is best for us? Who knows what will happen after we are gone? I liked this last passage because it speaks volumes. It tells us that we are born lucky or unlucky. God can give us everything, but it can also be taken away from us and given to someone else. We live in a world that is based solely on money. It's based solely on what is worth value. We don't value each other because there's already a dollar sign on us. We're valued into net worth. We're a currency. But if God gives you everything, gives you all that you've ever wanted for, and you're humble with it, God would let you live the way you would live. But life isn't that easy for all of us. We're either lucky or unlucky, but we should never be upset because it's senseless, as the book quotes, or chasing after the wind. Ecclesias sounds very depressing, but it's actually very insightful. It's very odd. When you read the Bible or you think of the Bible, you don't think of something that's saying, well, you don't think you're going to read something that's kind of like not what you thought you'd read. But it's good to see it in the Bible because even though man put the Bible together and left out very valuable books that should have been in the Bible, what I do like about the Bible is that we are not so different from that time. The people are the same, confused, lost, stuck to a system that forces them to be sensed, and by that I mean that they're a value, like their people are a dollar sign. I like this passage, and I'm glad that I could read it to you this Sunday. I hope you guys enjoy the passages. I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. I hope you guys think a lot about what you want to do in life. Don't be afraid to be wealthy, but obey God. Be humble about what you have. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't be that person that gets all that money or makes it to the top and looks down on people because they're all the way up there and they forgot that they were once beneath the people who are where they are. Well, guys, it's been awesome talking to you. I hope whoever heard this, I hope it resonates with you. If not, I hope that you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe, guys. Please comment. Please, a good comment. Give me a good comment, something holy, something nice, and I will respond to the best one. This is the Almighty Lion, guys. I will check you later.